This was a village where mothers no longer sang freely and laughter from young girls had faded into memory. In the village of Kaloma, a dark spirit was said to roam, one that killed girls one by one, without mercy. Each moon cycle, another daughter vanished or was found lifeless, and no charm, prayer, or sacrifice had stopped it. Fear became a daily companion, especially for young women. Adama was one of them. That morning, as the sun climbed slowly over the tall iroko trees, Adama balanced her clay pot on her hip and walked toward the stream. The village elders had warned the girls not to go alone, but water could not fetch itself, and life did not pause for fear. Still, her heart beat faster with every step. The stream was quiet, too quiet. The water flowed gently, reflecting the pale sky, when something unusual caught her eye. Floating slowly across the surface was a small pot, darker than the river stones, wrapped tightly in a black cloth and bound with a red knot. Adama froze. Everyone in Kaloma knew what black cloth and red knots meant. They were never used for good. Curiosity battled fear. Slowly, she stepped into the shallow water and pulled the pot toward her. It felt warm and naturally warm. Her fingers trembled as she untied the red knot. The moment the cloth loosened, a violent shock surged through her body. The wind screamed through the trees, the water rippled wildly, and Adama gasped as if something had passed straight through her chest. She screamed and dropped the pot back into the stream. Instantly, the wind died. The river became calm again, as if nothing had happened. Shaking, Adama staggered backward, grabbed her own water pot, and lifted it onto her head. As she turned to leave, a voice whispered behind her, "Adama." She spun around. No one stood there. Her breath caught. "Who is there?" she asked, her voice barely sound. Silence. Then again, softer, closer. Adama. Her blood turned cold. No maid, no girl, no woman ever came to the river alone anymore. Fear overcame her curiosity. Without looking back, she ran. When she reached home, her mother was outside, stirring soup over the fire. Adama dropped her pot beside the hearth, her hands still shaking. She said nothing about the river. Nothing about the pot. Nothing about the voice. That night, as darkness wrapped the village, Adama lay awake, staring at the ceiling. Then she felt it, a dull warmth spreading through her chest. When Adama woke the next morning, sunlight spilled gently through the window, warm and ordinary. For a moment, she lay still, listening. No whispers, no strange wind. Just the familiar sounds of the village waking, roosters crowing, pestles pounding yam, women calling to one another. Her chest felt normal again, and the fear of the previous days seemed like a distant dream. She rose and began her chores. She swept the compound, her broom tracing calm patterns on the earth. She fetched firewood, washed plates, and helped her mother prepare food for the day. The smell of boiling soup filled the air, comforting and familiar. Neighbors passed by, greeting her as usual. Nothing felt wrong. The village, for once, appeared peaceful. By mid-morning, Adama was pounding cassava when a familiar voice called her name. Adama. She looked up and smiled. It was Chike. Chike walked into the compound with easy confidence, carrying a small bundle of kola nuts and dried fish. He was strong, kind-faced, and well-liked in the village. Her mother greeted him warmly, and Adama felt her cheeks grow hot as he smiled at her. They talked and laughed as they worked. Chike helped with small tasks, joking as he went, making even the heavy work feel light. At one point, while Adama's mother stirred the pot, Chike cleared his throat. "Mama," he said respectfully, "when I finish settling my work and build my house, Adama will be my wife." Her mother paused, then smiled, nodding slowly. "May it be so," she said. Adama looked away, shy but happy. For a brief moment, life felt whole again, safe, hopeful, untouched by the darkness that had haunted the village. Then someone entered the compound. It was Zainab. Adama's closest friend stood at the gate, her beauty impossible to ignore, even in her distress. Her skin glowed like polished bronze, her eyes large and expressive. Yet, despite her beauty, Zainab was an outcast, her family whispered about, her presence often avoided. People said misfortune followed her, though no one could explain why. Her clothes were dusty. Her eyes were red. "Adama," she said, her voice breaking. Adama rushed to her side. "What is wrong? Why are you crying?" Zainab grabbed her hands tightly, her fingers cold. She glanced around nervously, as if afraid of being heard. Chike and Adama's mother watched silently. "Please," Zainab whispered, tears spilling down her face. "Come to my house. You must come now. Something has happened. Something terrible." Adama felt a sudden tightness in her chest, a familiar warmth stirring beneath her skin. Zainab did not wait for questions. She turned and began walking fast, her steps uneven, as if fear pushed her forward. Adama hesitated only once before following Chike close behind. They passed narrow paths and silent compounds until they reached the edge of the village, where Zainab's hut stood alone, half hidden by tall grass and crooked trees. The moment Zainab pushed open the door, she froze. The hut was empty. A small mat lay overturned. A clay bowl was broken near the wall. Zainab's eyes searched wildly, then her knees gave way. She fell to the ground and cried out, a sound raw and broken, clutching her chest as tears poured freely. "She's gone," she sobbed. "She's gone again." Adama knelt beside her, holding her shoulders. "Zainab, where is your sister?" Zainab wiped her face with trembling hands and began to speak between sobs. "My sister is 1 year younger than me," she said. "Last night, before dawn, she followed someone into the bush. She said a man came to her, gentle and kind, promising safety, promising answers. She didn't know he was not human." Chike exchanged a glance with Adama, his face tense. Zainab continued, her voice shaking. "She came back running before sunrise. She was crying, shaking, trying to warn me. She said the spirit does not always show itself as a shadow or wind. It wears the shape of a man who speaks softly, a man who leads you past a certain path. Once you cross it, the spirit follows you forever." Adama felt her chest grow warm again. "She was trying to tell me this," Zainab said, gripping her dress, when the air changed. The room grew cold, then it appeared. Her breath hitched. "It grabbed her," Adama gasped. "I tried to hold her," Zainab cried. "I tried to pull her back, but fear entered my bones. My legs would not move. My voice would not come out. I ran to find you. That is why I came crying." Silence filled the hut. Chike finally spoke, his voice low. "You are saying the spirit doesn't just kill girls, it chooses them." Zainab nodded slowly. "It follows love, trust, curiosity. Once it leads you away, even for a moment, it never forgets you." Adama felt dizzy. Images flashed in her mind, the black cloth, the red knot, the shock at the stream, the voice calling her name. Her hands began to tremble. "Adama," Zainab whispered suddenly, looking straight into her eyes, fear sharp in her gaze. "Did anything strange happen to you yesterday?" Before Adama could answer, the wind outside howled violently, slamming the hut door shut. And in that darkness, someone knocked slowly from the other side. The sound echoed through the hut like a drumbeat from the spirit world. It came once, slow and deliberate, then stopped. Adama and Zainab held their breath. The silence that followed was heavier than fear itself. When they turned around, their hearts dropped. Chike was gone. "Chike!" Adama called out, her voice shaking. No answer. They searched the hut, pushed the door open, and looked outside. The path was empty. The trees stood still. Panic rose in their throats. "Chike!" Zainab cried. "Where are you?" Suddenly, a presence formed behind them. They turned at the same time. Chike stood there. But he was no longer the man they knew. His eyes were dark and hollow, his smile stretched too wide for his face. His posture was crooked, unnatural, as though his bones no longer belonged to him. Fear froze them in place. "Chike, are you okay?" Adama whispered. He smiled wider. "This is your end," he said calmly. "I am the spirit that has been killing the girls of this village." Zainab screamed. Chike stepped forward, his voice cold. "I have wanted to kill you for so long, Adama. But the pot you touched at the stream fell at my feet. It protected you. Now I have come to collect it back." He lunged toward Adama. Before he could touch her, a fierce light burst from her chest. It burned bright like fire and pushed Chike backward violently. He crashed against the wall, hissing in pain. Adama stared at herself in shock. The warmth inside her was blazing now, alive. Realizing he could not harm her, Chike's face twisted in rage. He turned suddenly and grabbed Zainab, his limbs stretching long and sharp, wrapping around her like a snake. Zainab cried out as he lifted her. "I will kill her instead," he snarled. Adama moved forward without thinking. With every step, the light in her chest grew brighter. Chike stumbled backward, shielding his face, panic flashing in his eyes. "I will kill both of you," he shouted. But he could not fully change into his spirit form. The power Adama carried from the stream blocked him. Minutes passed like hours. Then, in the chaos, Zainab's hand brushed against something on the floor, a knife. With the last of her strength, she grabbed it and plunged it into Chike's chest. A terrible scream filled the hut. Chike's body twisted, cracked, and collapsed into dust and smoke. The sound faded, and the darkness lifted. The spirit was dead. At dawn, Adama and Zainab told the villagers everything. They revealed that the spirit was Chike, and how they destroyed it. The king rewarded them for ending the curse. The village rejoiced. Mothers sang again. And Adama's mother wept with joy, holding her daughter close, grateful that the spirit had finally been defeated.